Hi everyone, congratulations. You've just made it through your 10-day cleanse. You're to be applauded because so many people out there don't take this journey to totally reboot their body. Today I want to share with you some things what to do after the cleanse. We're going to talk about, manifesting in our lives things that bring us abundance. And so we have to have our health, as you well know, in order to be able to do that. So I'm going to go over some things that you need to think about in terms of setting goals. This wasn't a one-time, I did it the 10-day cleanse, I'm good. The fact is, most of you will feel so much better than you did when you first began. And you'll go away and you'll go, I'm great. I feel fantastic, better than I did. And you'll begin to forget about where you were previous to that. And what I want, my job here is to encourage you to understand that this was just the beginning. What you got to do and realize that you got to get on the backside of many, many liver cleanses. This is the start. It's like when you go to the gym for the first time, when you do your first 20 to 60 days, and then all of a sudden you think, yeah, man, I'm pumped, I'm feeling great. And then you don't do anything for a couple of years, and what happens? Okay, you revert back to where you were, and we don't want that to happen. We want you to get consistent with cleansing. Think about it. You have a regular appointment to do your hair, your nails, change the oil in your car, rotate your tires, replace your tires. You need to be looking at the body first for a long-term success with your health. Understand, this muscle here, this intestinal tract here, is not going to get to perfection in one 10-day treatment. You did a lot of clearing, I know you did a lot of cleansing, but you're going to go away, and we want to make sure that you have total success for the rest of your life. So we're going to talk about a few things. First of all, this is a journey, and you've done a great job, and most of you have probably given up the cravings for the foods you had before. Do your best, stay away from the old life. And you're going to find when you go out into the world that there's going to be those temptations again, and do your best to avoid them. Now, I understand because I've been there. You take a couple steps forward, there might be half a step back. But just keep on your journey. So what I like you to do as part of your goals is to write down in your journal some achievements you want to have. When are you going to do your next liver cleanse? When are you going to do what are you going to do on a daily basis in terms of supplementation and foods? How are you going to shop? And I would like you to take a moment right now and just write down where you want to be in 1 month, where you want to be in 3 months, and where you want to be in 6 months, and where you want to be in a year and 5 years. Okay? Because you need to put that into your unconscious and subconscious so that your body is, and your brain is always bringing to the forefront of things you need to do. All right, so let's talk about some of the very basics. First of all, on the cleanse, you have been taking some supplementation, all right? And there's a specific reason why you had to take those supplements. And there's a reason why we didn't have you taking some other supplements. We were giving you just enough to further the detoxification process. Now we've got to talk about the rebuilding process. So I'm going to give you walk through a bunch of supplements. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. I'm going to talk about the very basics, and then we're going to talk about some additional things that you may need to do for your body. And before you leave, we would like to sit down with you and go over for you in detail what's best for you. All right? But this is going to give you some further education and some brain knowledge so you can say, oh yeah, that's right, I remember that. Because there's a lot of things you learn on the cleanse, and some of the things, there's so many things you're learning that we tend to kind of forget some of the crucial things that may be beneficial for you long term. Okay. So first of all, on the cleanse, you were taking some very basic supplements, and one of the things we had to take was digestive formula. I want to talk about what this really does. First of all, when the food comes down into as we taught you on the cleanse, we want you to chew, because it's the right thing to do. This should be your first blender. We sell Blend Tech and Vitamixes here, but we want you to use this one the most. Let this be your masticating juicer. Break it down until it's juice. That's going to help your digestive system so much. Next, it's going to get down to the stomach. The stomach produces acids, and as we age, we don't have near the amount of acids that we used to have. And so taking a digestive formula with enzymes like this has in it is a way to stimulate the production of hydrochloric acid in your stomach to further break down food. Now, if you wolf your food down really, really fast, or you used to, it gets into here and it's really hard to get through the digestive process. So really love yourself enough to give your time to chew 50 times. Everybody, 50 times. Just make that a habit. I'm going to chew 50 times and then I'm going to swallow. And you make that a habit, and pretty soon you'll notice a difference, and your body will notice, and it will reward you for such. The next thing is going to get into duodenum. In the duodenum, there are good microbes that you need to have in order to continue the digestion process. Think about those little Pac-Men in there, okay? There's good bugs and bad bugs. And we want the good bugs, like probiotics, and that's why we give you ProBio PCC to put into the intestinal tract to replenish those good bugs. This particular formula of ProBio PC was what helped me. As many of you heard my story, I used to have fungus in knees so bad it was growing on outside my foot and my leg. And it was quite an ordeal for 3 years. And this is the first probiotic I found that literally got me through that severe sickness. This gets through the stomach acids intact. Most probiotics do not. There's only, a handful that have been clinically proven to get past the stomach acids. And those are the ones that we use here on the cleanse. We've been out there, like you, with these crises, and especially me, and I've had to figure out what works. So ProBio PCC, I don't go a day without taking it. It's very inexpensive to take. It's part of your regime. We want to rebuild. So part of the rebuilding process, you need to have a multi. As most of you have been scanned, you know that we have the basic life essentials and Vitox. Okay, these are alternate formulas to try. And of course, what I prefer is the Life Pack or the Life Pack Nano. Think of it like this. Most of us go out and we apply some kind of mineral composition or fertilizer to our lawns. We're applying it to our lawns and our trees to give them the essential nutrients so that they can grow. Well, your body and tissues need the same thing. And so this is basically remineralizing your body to stimulate the healing and the rebuilding process. Every day, your body needs certain nutrients to keep the essential organs like the heart, liver, spleen, pancreas, eyes, etc. working. If you don't get that certain nutrient, like for example, maybe today you didn't get any zinc, and maybe the heart needs some zinc, and it's a critical stage. It says, hey, I didn't get any zinc today. The guy didn't need any. Where's it going to go to get the zinc or the calcium or whatever? Well, the body has this amazing network. And literally there's a telegraph sent out throughout the body saying, hey, who's got zinc? And pretty soon an organ or a part in the body says, well, I've got it, I can give it up. I'll give it up for the team. Well, that's why people get osteoporosis, because where does the body first go usually? The bone or the tissues, the nails, the hair, and it kind of works its way up, right? Until one day, many years in the future, when you haven't been continually being nutritionally deficient, until one day you've got a serious issue like maybe glaucoma or cataracts or macular degeneration. Or, your hip explodes and you fall down and you've broken your hip. Okay, well, what really happened is you didn't fall down and break your hip just exploded because there was no integrity left in the bone because of years of robbing Peter to pay Paul. You caused that to happen. So I see Life Pack or Life Pack Nano as simply cheap insurance to take on a daily basis. It also comes in a nice little pack. I throw them in my briefcase, my pocket. I always have them on me. If I'm out at lunch or dinner, I've got them on me. And so I just see it as a very inexpensive way to make sure I'm getting nourished. Did you know that if you get enough antioxidants in your body, there's no reason why you should get macular degeneration, glaucoma, or cataracts? No. That's why that antioxidant scanner that you were scanned on is so important, and that's why it was originally developed. The Dixon Eye Institute at the University of Utah wanted a way to measure people's eyeballs, to get a quantitative number so that they could measure the eyeballs and say, madam, you're low on antioxidants, we need to increase that. That was the whole premise behind that machine. So keeping your antioxidants at a high level is going to prevent eye problems. So of course in Life Pack and Life Pack Nano, there's lutein, zeaxanthin, xanthanin. Those are all great for the eyes. So those are your basic things that you should be doing every day. A multi-mineral, a probiotic, and an enzyme. All right? Those are your basic things. Now, many of you probably, we had you on chlorella during the cleanse. Why chlorella? Well, chlorella, first of all, is very inexpensive, but it's also a super nutrient. This green food here is a protein, but most importantly, it's a chelator. So as you've got heavy metals in your body, it's going to help grab those and chelate those. So staying on chlorella, I'm on it. Of course, I used to have mercury amalgams. If you've got mercury in your mouth, we probably already told you to take care of that. Be on chlorella and then stay on chlorella, because it's going to be a lifetime journey to continually detoxify the body. If you don't do that, fat is your friend in the body. And the fat is going to absorb that mercury. And what is the brain? The brain is fat, right? And you don't want to go into your brain, because mercury especially is a only heavy metal that degenerates brain neuron tissue, and that's one of the reasons that Alzheimer's rates are so high. So chlorella should be something in your bag. Now, you've been on bentonite and psyllium. Should you stop that? Well, you can, but bentonite, again, is a great way to move through the body and pick up the toxins and heavy metals and so forth. So pretty inexpensive product and easy to take. So, I would add it to my regime. And now some of you may get overwhelmed with some of the things I'm giving you, but let me tell you, it's just habit. You get into these habits and pretty soon, you don't even know you're doing it. I tell some of my folks their vitamins, I forget to take the vitamins. Well, do you brush your teeth? Yep, well, there's a habit that you became. Put your vitamins where you brush your teeth. Or in our case, in our family, we put the vitamins right there on the table in a great big bowl, so they're right there in front of us. Psyllium. Psyllium is your broom sweeper, okay? It's literally going through like a street sweeper and helping push things through. And especially for those of you who've been constipated, continue taking, your water and continually love up that water. I'm a guy that used to fight, in fact, still have a hard time of remembering to take the water that I need. But, again, it's just establishing that habit, and the psyllium is a simple, cheap, inexpensive way to get things moving through the bowels, and a lot of us don't get enough fiber. So a cheap product to do. So that's your choice, whether you want to stay on, continue on it or not, but I recommend it. Do I stay on it every day? No. There's some days I don't. And again, if you want to take a break for a while and then go back on it, do that. All right? But just remember, it's there and it's inexpensive, and that's why you want to take it. Okay, we're going to talk about some other things that you can use. If you've got candida yeast, Synthol is your buddy. Okay, we've already mentioned Probio PC, that should be part of it. Synthol is another product that's been developed, that's been shown to create the die-off of yeast and candida. Now, if you've had mercury, you've got yeast. Because yeast is a protection of mercury converting to methylmercury, which is worse. And of course, the yeast must be fed with sugar and carbohydrates. So you've probably known you've been craving carbohydrates and so forth. So Synthol is your buddy. Okay, so Synthol, another nutrient to take. And again, we can talk to you about what dose you should be taking this in. Again, follow-up liver cleansing is going to be important with yeast candida as well. All right, some of you are going to leave here after the 10-day cleanse. We're going to give you a few of these supplements, colon cleanse and tone, just to get things moving. You've been doing colonics all for the last 10, 15 days, and now you're going to leave, and you maybe had a little hard time getting going, like that used to be my problem. Colon cleanse and tone is perfect for that. It gets things moving again. If you've had severe constipation, a 110 days, probably not going to get this muscle, like I mentioned earlier, back into shape. So you're going to want to keep colon cleanse and tone around. Do you need to use it every day? Probably not. The more colonics you do, the more that muscle can get back into shape and do what it's supposed to do, and you won't need to rely upon this at all. Okay? If you've been on some kind of a pain product and you've still got some pain, Wendy's probably shared with you about Pain Ease on her healing journey from her fall where she broke all those bones. Pain Ease is a natural supplement to be using for pain. The next product is, some of you may be asked to be on, is protease. Protease helps break down and digest proteins in the blood and in the tissues or in the intestinal tract. So this is another product that you'll want to talk to us about as well. Okay, so again, we want you to schedule your next several liver cleanses. It's really, really important. You need to get on the backside of 10, well, you need to get on the backside of 20, most of you coming in here. We suggest you do one liver cleanse for every year you are old. So if you're 50, you want to get on the backside of 50 liver cleanses. Now, I'm 57, right? I've done over 20 some liver cleanses. I've lost track. Each liver cleanse is going to be different. Okay, if you come here, you didn't get much out, don't think that your liver is clean. It's not. I mean, you're living in a toxic soup bath out there, and you're absorbing toxins every day. So we want to get that liver cleanse happening on a regular basis. We find the liver cleanses come in threes. About every third or fourth liver cleanse, major stuff's going to come out. And so you do one, and maybe it's uneventful, not much comes out, just keep doing it because you're just loosening up for the next one. I can't emphasize liver, 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 love your liver. I'm going to tell you a couple stories, so I hope I drive this point home. I've had some people come in here and I've told them the story I'm telling you, and they went home, they felt great. They said, well, I'm busy, I don't have the time, I've got this going, I've got that going. And gradually, very slowly began to feel a little worse. And then all of a sudden, things crept up in their lives, and they had some healing crises. And they ignored the liver. Until one day it got worse and got bad again. Just had this happen just in the last 10 days. This lady did a cleanse almost 2 years ago, hasn't been back, too busy, right? It happens, I understand. And all of a sudden, bam, you know, the old symptoms come back full force. And they had to come back full force for her to pay attention. So you gotta understand, you gotta get this liver clean, because the liver is cleaning up the blood. You clean up the blood, the nutrition you take, like life pack and so forth, it's gonna be so much more effective. Something to keep the liver cleansing on a daily basis is a very inexpensive formula called detox. Detox is using ingredients like vitamin C and milk thistle to help kind of keep sweeping out the liver. Another significant development recently is a product called R2. R2 works at night. R2 works at night. If you've got super toxicity, this is something you want to put on your list of possible products to be taken, because at night it's going into the cells and literally sweeping out the cells internally in your body to get rid of the toxicity. So another product to consider. Sleep. As we age, some of us have a little problem sleeping. Lots of things you need to consider. First of all, what is the electromagnetic fields like in your house and in your bedroom? We have products here called Gia strips that you can put on your televisions, your alarm clock. I actually have one we plug into the wall, and it's a device that helps eliminate or bring down the amount of electromagnetic frequencies that could be disturbing your sleep. Make sure that the bedroom that you're in is blacked out. Ideally, don't watch television or your iPad or your Android device, your smartphone, whatever, right before you go to bed. That's going to help as well. Other things you can do is take a product called Nighttime Formula. Nighttime Formula, if I can't sleep, I take this, it works great. You don't wake up tired. Beautiful product. I use it mostly when I travel, but occasionally I get a little stress, I'll take this. Speaking of stress, we have a product called Cortitrol. Cortitrol is an amazing product for eliminating stress, reducing the cortisol in your body. Cortisol is that hormone in your body that when you're under stress, it's the fight or flight hormone they call it. When you're under stress, it raises. And that's so you can be alert, run fast. In ancient times, that was what we needed to escape the lions and the bears and so forth. Well, today's hectic lifestyle, that cortisol gets raised. It also causes you to be fat. I've had significant stories of people who couldn't lose that last 10 pounds or 20 pounds or whatever it was, they were stuck, and I put them on Cortitrol, and that product literally brought down that, and they were able to lose weight again. It'll also make you relaxed. It's also great if you've been on high blood pressure medication. I've got some folks that have been on high blood pressure medication for quite some time, switched to Cortitrol, and that has relieved the stress and brought down the blood pressure into normal levels. So that's a product to consider using as well. We're out and about. We've got to hurry out in the morning. This is a green or a alkaline drink made of a protein blend of plants. Something you just put in a cup and some water, shake it up, good to go. It's got a significant amount of protein in it and a great tasting product actually. Really like this. So, and it's in a greens formula, which is the one I prefer. And it's a pretty inexpensive way to have a little something on the go if you're missing lunch or you got to rush out in the morning, which I don't like to do. I'm in the morning, I got to eat breakfast and fuel up. But anyways, that's a product that you can consider using just to have on hand. One of the other products I want to talk about that I love is the product called G3. This has got 4 significant fruits. It's got GAC fruit, which is high in carotenoid antioxidants. Carotenoid antioxidants actually recycle your antioxidants like vitamin C and E, so forth. It's also got sea leaf fruit, Siberian pineapple, and these 4 fruits in here are significant in the amount of antioxidants. Really beneficial, we found, and noted that men with prostate issues, it helps them tremendously, and especially people with eye issues. I've had some good friends who have had nighttime driving problems. They've been on the G3 and they found that changed their world and they were able to start driving at night, didn't have those problems. So it's a fruit drink, tastes really good. I know it looks like tomato juice, but it's not. Tastes fantastic actually. So another product to consider. The other product I'm going to share in the video is one of the significant developments that came after the human genome study is a product called Age-Lock Vitality. So they actually found in the aging process that we were, these youth gene clusters in our body were literally fragmenting and getting disarrayed in our body. And they found a way that through supplementation to literally remap those and take you back to an earlier state in time. I'm going to let you watch a short video on that because the scientists can explain it so much better than I. Okay, so don't want you to be overwhelmed with products, but these are just simple things that you can use to help detoxify the body. Again, you know, think about where you want to be. You've made this great effort to come through this 10 to 15 days that you've spent here at Living Waters, and it's really a reboot back on your journey to wellness. I want to definitely encourage you to love yourself enough to keep taking care of yourself. You know, continue to work on the emotional concepts that we've taught you here, the mind mapping. Particularly, don't forget that very inexpensive tool that we gave you called Emotional Freedom Technique, or EFT, tapping. So many people go away because you know it's cheap, it's inexpensive, it takes 2 minutes to do, and we don't give it its credit. And you know that's a simple tool that you can use every day, and you may need to use it several times a day. So don't forget the tap. We taught you other things as well. Don't forget, you know, to use those. And most importantly, you know, stay in touch. You're going to go along and, you know, as part of the healing process, it's not linearly vertical. We start here, not feeling good, and go straight up. Good chance you're going to have a healing crisis. I know, I've had many. So your healing journey looks more like this. You start here, you go up, and then you might go backwards a little bit. And you go up, and then you might go down a little bit. And you're going to get into that position where you crash, and you think, oh my gosh, the cleanse didn't work. No, what your body is doing is it says, okay, great, fantastic. We've got some new things to work with here. This person's really in a detox mode. Now we're going to start pushing some things in some areas that probably you haven't experienced before. And you can understand you're just having a healing crisis. When Wendy had the mercury out of her teeth, she had a severe healing crisis. What happened to her? Her body was so healthy that it says, okay, let's purge mercury. And so what did it do? It started pushing out through the skin. Her skin started flaking off. I mean, every day I'd have to change the sheets because just her skin was raw. Now, had we known back then about the cleansing process, she probably could have avoided that or could have reversed it a lot faster. But we didn't. So she went through that healing crisis and she came out of it. But what you need to understand is that you're going to have those. And it will look different for everybody. But just remember, you need to stay on this journey and keep cleansing. Cleanse, 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 cleanse. You've got to keep detoxifying. Stay on your green drinks, stay on your juices, do these things that we've taught you here on the cleanse. And your journey is going to be this way, even though it's going to be laden with a few healing crises, it's okay. You know, bless it up, because that's fantastic. Otherwise, you know, most people go like this until death. And they live this miserable life, and they think that's normal. What you are creating for you and your family is the new normal. And that's what I hope you take away from here. All right? You can learn all this knowledge, and it's a start, it's a beginning. And you can now take it and progress to new heights in health and well-being. Okay, let's talk about the things you can do for your skin. A couple products that are really fun to use. This is called Glacial Marine Mud. This is actually raw mud out of an estuary in Canada. You simply apply it on your face or skin, anywhere in the body, and it has a deep pulling effect. In fact, it's so significant. Years ago, we had a lady that went on this product, and she was looking and observing. She said, "Oh no, there's glass in this product," she thought. So she called, got a new bottle of Glacial Marine Mud. She applied it, and she called. She says, "There's glass in this product too." Now, now you know people are alarmed, and she called the company and talked to the company, and the guy was very intelligent, and he started asking her questions. Well, come to find out, 10 years previously, she'd been in a car accident and had little shards of glass. Of course, it splintered and went to her skin. She didn't even know it. And what the Glacial Marine Mud was doing was pulling the glass out of her skin. That's how powerful Glacial Marine Mud is. Another mask that you can put on for the skin is called Clay Pack. Now, this is something that Wendy loves to use. You can put it on, and it's moisturizing and it pulls at the same time. And this is something you can put on for 20, 30, 40 minutes, hour, walk around the house, do your laundry, whatever you cook, whatever, and then take it off. Very simple product. Again, what it's doing is helping detoxify the body as well. So there's just a couple of things that you can do to help detoxify the skin. As well as, if you're here in Boise, of course, you can continue to also do the far infrared sauna. The sauna is another method of detoxifying the skin by heating up the body. In the sauna, you're going to burn 350 calories. It's going to help make your skin smoother. 20% of the sweat that comes off of you is actually toxic matter in a far infrared sauna. Now, in a steam or hot sauna that many of you probably experience, only 2% of the sweat is toxic matter. One of the programs I want to light with you is how to do liver cleanses or follow-up 3-day cleanses for free. We have a program here in conjunction with PharmaNex, which gives you product credits. So first of all, if you're on LifePak or the LifePak Nano or any combination of the products, whether it be the Nano, the ProBio, the digestive enzymes, you're going to get credits from Nu Skin and PharmaNex in the rate of 20% per month for the first year. After the first year, it goes to 30%. So if you're spending $100 a month on average, you're going to get a $20 credit every month. In 5 months, you've basically earned $100 worth of free products. In a year's time, next year, you'll get a 30% credit per month. So a little over 3 months, you're going to earn $100 worth of credits. Living Waters will match the credits that you get at 20%. In other words, if you're spending $100, we're going to match those same credits at 20%. So you're going to earn another $20 per month. So basically, in 5 months, you've earned $100. You earn enough to come in and do at least one client. What we find is most people do this in a year's time. They've got at least one 3-day cleanse or more paid for free by simply doing what you should be doing every day anyway, and that's being on some nutritional supplements to help nourish and strengthen and rebuild the body. So don't forget, it makes a lot of sense to be on the LifePak or LifePak Nano. The digestive enzymes and ProBio is your basic hub of nutrients, and again, you get credits for doing that and free cleanses as well. One of the most inexpensive things that you can do and get in a great habit of doing is juicing. When you first came to Living Waters, you watched my introduction into juicing. So as you know, we sell and recommend juicers here. I can drop ship them directly to your door. The Omega is a very inexpensive juicer. It's kind of a medium range juicer in terms of price. They range from $260 to about $400. You can spend as much as $2,400 on juicers. And if you would like to get that one, it's a great juicer. It's fantastic. A few of my clients have. However, for the money and for most budgets, I think the Omega is a great buy. But anyway, the point is getting into a habit of juicing. It's a very easy juicer to clean up and take care of. And it really only takes a few minutes every morning. So that's just one little thing you can do for you and your family, is just start juicing. Whether it be carrots and apple, just start out really simple. Make all these lifestyle changes simple and easy to do. But you know what? You just got to take some action. So, make it a goal each week. I'm going to do one new thing each week. This week, I'm going to juice. Next week, I'm going to, add something to my regime. Another item we talked about on the cleanse was the mind mapping. You can actually get that video on Adam. There's a book by it as well. Highly recommended reading. It's actually a great story about how he discovered that, how it came to him in a vision. You know what? And that's something we all need, is that reminder of how we can use the power of our mind to change the DNA in our cells to healing. And for some of you who are really fighting some severe illnesses, you've got to get on top of that right now, and you've got to get that belief mechanism and seeing and visualizing. So whatever tools you need to do that, and I think that Adam video is a perfect example of a way to do that. Don't forget your Louise Hay book. It's got a lot of great things in there and great tools. And you're going to find, you're talking to a friend and they're going to say they're having a problem with blah, blah, blah. Pick up the book. In fact, better yet, if you got a smartphone, I've got an app on my phone that has Louise Hay's information about the possible thought process that's caused the dis-ease, and then the affirmation for it. Look it up and just start comparing notes and say, ask the person, well, this low back, do you not feel supported financially or supported in your life? And just see what happens. You're going to start making these connections, and it's going to be great for you and also for those around you as well. Meditating. Meditation has always been something that was not something I really like to do. As you know, I'm a pretty much a go guy, on to the next thing, kind of task oriented. So for those like me, meditation has been difficult because my mind's always kind of racing to the next thing. So I went and invested several years ago into a program called Holosync. Now most of you, while you're on the cleanse, you probably listened to it, maybe you weren't aware of it, but it actually was the intro. You can get it from Holosync, from a company called Centerpoint. And you can actually just Google them on the internet, or I can give you the phone number. But anyway, that's how I started with that. And what really got me interested in that was I had a gentleman back years ago that had recommended to me several times to get this CD set. And a friend of mine actually got it before I did, and he was a guy that was fairly angry. And he really blew up at his employees, and he called me one day and said, hey, I've been listening to this Holosync for about 2 months now, and it's calmed me out, and I'm not yelling at people. And I thought, wow, if that could work for him, it can obviously work for me. Anyway, that's a tool that you can use to help do meditation. I listen to it at night before I go to sleep. Do I do it every night? No. In fact, in the last year, I probably only used it. I used to use it a lot. And there's several programs you can get, and they have a whole process. But anyway, even if you get the basic program, it's just another tool that you can use to meditate. Remember, food is your medicine, and food is your poison. Make sure when you're in the store, start muscle testing for things, and get your kids to do it and your family to do it. Your body, as you know, knows innately whether it's good for you or not. And so buy it, really take the time to understand what is going to make your body. Well, I used to love bread. And I used to put things like, peanut butter and jelly on bread, and I just loved to have that, right? And as I got to pay attention to my body, the cleaner I got, I really noticed that bread wasn't my friend. In fact, as there's been some books written about it, I don't think that bread's anybody's friend, unless you can get gluten-free, or you can get your source of your grains from outside this country. And they've so denatured the wheat and the grains of this country that I don't think I think everyone, quite frankly, is gluten intolerant. A lot of us just don't know it. But really pay attention to these things. As you start getting cleaner and cleaner, you're going to start noticing things. When you take them, they affect you right away. And so that's kind of the warning light saying, I better not do that. Make sure you stay on a soft food diet for the next 3 days after you leave the cleanse. That's the time when your body, remember I showed you the little carpet fibers, those little villi in your gut, all that's healing. And you don't want to have any seeds or nuts or lettuce. any peelings get in that carpet. You want to make sure that all gets back and that carpet gets laid down perfectly. So just stay on the soft food diet for a while. So I would recommend highly staying on the psyllium during that time as well. Parasites, we got bugs, as you've probably seen them as if you've been here in the cleanse. So remember the tincture you've got in your bag, you can reorder it here through Living Waters. Highly recommend you stay on that for the rest of your life. Do a maintenance program. We put it, as you know, in our pets' food. We put a few drops on every morning. So we're always, paying attention. We're always going to get reinfected. If you're eating raw food, if you're living life, you're going to get parasites. But those of us who are cleansing regularly, those of us who are working on our mind, our positive energy, our positive thoughts, we're going to have a lot less parasites. So, keep doing the maintenance program with the parasite tincture. One of the other important things that we've taught you here is to delete the negative, cancel. I've probably said to you several times, those negative thoughts. So you're going to be around people, you're going back to your family who still, they're not, they don't have the awareness that you do. And there may be some friends in your life that are pretty toxic. And I would just ask you to revisit, do those people need to stay in your life? And there's going to be some people in your life, your family, but diminish the amount of time that you spend with them, because who's most important in life? You've got to work on you, and you've taken the time and the energy to really address the healing within you, and it goes along with healing, and you're vibrating at a different level. So when you get around those that have got a lot of parasitic energy, you're going to notice and feel it. So be aware of that and just be cautious about getting back into that old mode. So I would start looking at new opportunities. And what I would really encourage you to do, because this is what was encouraged to me when I first cleansed, was that go off and be and get into groups, but just kind of be. And just watch the law of attraction work in your life. As you keep cleansing your thoughts and also physically and mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you're going to attract new vibration into your life. And that is so exciting. It's so fun to watch that. One of the things I like to do now is visualize right before I go to bed and also in the morning when I wake up. And one of the visualizations that I actually do is visualizing those of you who are coming to Living Waters. And it's been so fun to watch how that works in our lives as we have built this program up, and to see those of you who have taken the action. There's no mistakes. You guys all came here because it was time. And you're going to be able to be that beacon of light for others as you go out. And so, own it. You know what? You can change 144,000 people by just affecting the next person and giving that gift of love, and just asking the questions if they're ready to change, if they're ready to get well, and then call me and I will be happy to talk with anybody that you think is possibly ready. So if we can change people's thoughts and outcomes, think what we can do for this country as a nation. There's a lot of stinking thinking out there, right? You see it in our politics, you see it in our government work. The only way that's going to change is if we change. And we got to change deep within first. So it all starts with us. And then as you go out and you recognize that and you see that you are that vibrating at that new frequency, you have the opportunity to affect and do a lot of good for others. The thing I would caution you not to do is don't do everything that you did here. Don't talk about the liver cleanse. Don't talk about what you did and how you felt. Because that will scare some people away. They'll be like, what are they talking about? So those are some conversations you want to avoid. Just tell them they need to come down and look at what's happening at Living Waters. Just tell them how good you feel. That's really just minimalist thinking. Just get them, be infectious with your attitude. Because if you can do that, and and we offer paying you referral fees so that you can come back and keep cleansing, and hopefully keep cleansing for free, because you're bringing so many people in the door that your cleanses are free. And I've got several clients that they're back in here all the time because they've got new credits they've earned for free cleansing. So I really, I can't do it. Wendy can't do it alone. We're here. We've started this. and Amanda, and we've put all this energy out there, and now you know what? You guys are the next ones to take that energy forward and be that beacon of light, be that force for change, for good in the world. And I truly believe I wouldn't be here every day. I mean, I get down here early, I go to sleep late, and I'm thinking about, how can we set this up? How can we affect more people and get more people to love themselves enough to care about their health? And when you look inside and you get the love inside, that radiates out. And you know what? Other people grasp hold. One of my clients came through here, and she, her daughter started coming down here, and I said, "What's it like at home now?" And they go, "Oh, wow, it's so fantastic. Mom's changed, and she got all these positive affirmation. It is so much fun at home now." Think about that. Think about all the people out there that aren't having so much fun at home, right? Think about all the people who get so caught up in all the chaos of today's lives. But you know what? We know if they get clean, they can change anything. Why do you think the Essenes over 2,000 years ago wrote about cleansing? They knew it then. They didn't have the toxic soup mess, but they knew that it would affect us internally, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And that, my friends, is the greatest gift that you can give humanity, is to go out and spread that word. I really encourage you to do it. You all have the opportunity. And when I, trying to sell people in this program, it's either right for them or not, but just ask them the question: are you ready to let go of that pain? Are you ready for a new way of thinking and healing? Are you ready to let go of that? Are you ready to let go of that? They're going to be talking about blah, blah, blah. I heard about this. You know what? This is not working in my life. Are you ready to let go of that? If they say yes, say, you know what? I'm going to ask, if it's all right with you, I'm going to ask David at Living Waters to give you a call. Are you open to that? And share with you what they could do. If it resonates for you, great. If it doesn't, it costs you a few minutes of your time. So I gotta say, you don't need to tell them about how it all works. They're gonna ask you probably, you know what? Say the best thing you do is let them send you some information, the information kit, and come down and take a tour. And if they're in Boise, tell them to come down on Wellness Wednesdays. Make an appointment for Wellness Wednesdays or a personal appointment to see the place. Because people have to kind of get their hands around this, as you probably had to do as well. Thanks so much for being you, and being here and taking responsibility for you and changing you to be the person that God intended for you to be. And on behalf of Living Waters, blessings upon you and your family.